And here's Ian with the Volkswagen scandal story.
Thank you, Travis. Volkswagen's decision by top management to rig U.S. emission standards has plagued the automaker for weeks and has now cost a long-term profitable company revenue. Volkswagen shares declined in the third quarter of 2015 for the first time in 15 years. The German company said it had a net loss of $1.84 billion during the period from July through September, as it set aside revenue to help cover the expected damage from the scandal, according to Wednesday's earnings report. Volkswagen's final financial hit is expected to soar even higher due to lawsuits, compensation to car owners, and the price cuts to attract new buyers. Volkswagen experienced its first quarterly loss in 15 years, and using marginal analysis, Volkswagen's scandal causing sales to go down influenced the company to cut down on diesel and other vehicles. Analysts say the depth of damage to the brand is not clear, but Volkswagen likely must discount prices, particularly in the United States, to regain customers and market share. Further, the revenue losses affect the company's ability to invest in product development, which causes a supply and demand issue. Known for producing cars of value, Volkswagen is now gripped by a downturn brought on when top officials admitted covering up a device to cheat on emissions tests. During tests, the Volkswagen diesel engines with illegal software made full use of pollution controls and were able to pass emissions tests. But during regular operation, the engines emit many times the allowed amount of nitrogen oxide into the air. The software known as defeat devices allowed Volkswagen to aggressively and deceptively market models featuring the company's clean diesel motors. Volkswagen advertised that its clean diesel motors provided customers an environmentally responsible alternative while also delivering excellent fuel economy and performance. But the deceptive software made those claims only possible by allowing the engines to emit up to 40 times the allowable limit of nitrogen oxide than allowed by the U.S. EPA. The noxious air pollutant can be harmful to lungs. Volkswagen's rigging of diesel cars to cheat on emissions tests could kill people in the U.S. by the end of next year, according to research by scientists at Harvard and MIT. If you take into account the additional risk due to excess Volkswagen emissions, then roughly 60 people have died or will die early on average, a decade or more early, said Stephen Barrett, a director of Laboratory for Aviation Environment at MIT. The cost of these deaths is about $450 million, and it could have been doubled if it was not for Volkswagen's recall. Volkswagen wrote down €6.7 billion to cover the expense of recalling and repairing about 9 million cars in Europe and the United States featuring the illegal software. The German government has ordered Volkswagen to recall 8.5 million in Europe, and the company said it will repair an additional 500,000 in the US at no cost to customers beginning next year. But it remains unclear how the company can make cars meet air quality regulations without affecting performance and fuel economy. Volkswagen officials have promised to lead the company back from the scandal, including disclosing what happened and ensuring a practice never happens again. Volkswagen's new chief executive, Herbert Diess, apologized at the Tokyo Auto Show Wednesday for the automaker's emissions cheating scandal, promising to win back consumer trust, and said it would delay the launch of the diesel vehicle in Japan. On behalf of my entire company, I'd like to apologize, said Diess, a recent hire from BMW. We are doing everything we can to bring back the trust in our brand. And this is Jenna from KPTI News.
Apple will unwrap its outlook for the holiday shopping season, and analysts expect growth from Apple, but not like last year. Holiday quarter is expected to bring Apple sales of $77 billion and profit of $18.1 billion. This year's sales growth expect to be 3.4%, which doesn't meet last year of 30%. The October to December Apple generates more sales and profit than any other time of the year. The forecast will be closely watched because Apple is facing a question about whether the latest iPhones can match the record-setting pace of last year's models. Investors' doubts about growth have sent the stock down 12% since the last earnings report. Apple has refreshed their lineup of the year-end holiday rush with the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, remodeled Apple TV setup boxes, and updated iMac computers. Apple's business is really tied to one product, the iPhone. Sales of iPad has slowed and Apple Watches haven't become mainstream. Apple supplier Dialog Semiconductor reported lackluster earnings and gave a disappointing fourth quarter forecast, which RBC analyst Amit Daryanani said has a negative implication for iPhone sales. Apple stock fell 3.3% in New York. An analyst with Piper Jaffray, Gene Munster, wrote in a research note last week that iPhone sales for the holiday quarter are the biggest investor concern facing Apple.
Hey Travis,
Oh, hey Ian, what's
did
up?
you hear about the Apple Winter Outlook?
Yeah, I did. I'm stuck with my HTC One.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
Dude, you should take one of these. It's an iPhone.
Wait,
Works
let me
much
see it.
better than a Samsung.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the sales are projected to go up this winter quarter.
Oh, wow. Well, I won't be needing this.
And now we'll go to Travis for KPTI News on the GM union deal.
Thanks, Ian. To avert a threatened strike, General Motors has proposed a deal to United Automobile Workers agreeing to invest an additional $1.9 billion to the automaker's operations in the United States. This $1.9 billion investment is in addition to prior commitment of $6.4 billion to bolster domestic manufacturing. The pact will result in 3,300 U.S. jobs to be at least secured and an opportunity for new jobs to be created. Before this contract becomes final, the 52,600 union workers at General Motors must vote in favor of the proposal. This deal also states that there will be a 3 to 4% increase in annual wage over the next 4 years, as well as an additional $8,000 signing bonus upon approval of the contract. Temporary workers will gain a $2,000 signing bonus and access to GM's healthcare program. Also, General Motors offers a $60,000 bonus to 4,000 workers who plan to retire between February 1st and May 1st of 2016. The benefit General Motors holds in this contract is the goal of keeping workers on assembly lines. Many union workers say they were prepared for a strike before the proposed contract. Losing a large chunk of workers would likely hamper General Motors' ability to meet projected sales of 17.4 million vehicles in the current year. Therefore, GM had great incentive to reach an agreement with the United Automobile Workers.